Forbiden fruit, the Tempation of Edward Cullen. And hi guys, hope you like this one. I am quite proud of it. Thanks for the support from my friends. Love you girls. Glad you like it. Oh, and Vincent, you're so dumb. Of course Tia didn't go to Martha and order her bra. She's not a total ditz. One more time, don't read if you didn't like it. No frickin' flames, what is the point of flamming? There is no point! So off! Chapter 3, Uncle Larry. I sat alone watching TV at Dave and Mary's house. I couldn't stop thinking about my encounter with Edward Cullen earlier that day. He was so beautiful and sexy, with such amazing hair and eyes, I could hardly believe he had noticed someone like me. But I was angry at how he made me feel, how I'd burnt like crimson hot flame when he touched me, and how he'd not listened to me when I told him to fucking off. And how he dared to touch me at all when he had a guff anyways. Even if she was a mean girl with an ugly heart, and not that out. But no matter how much I tried to hate him, I simply couldn't. Suddenly the phone rang! Hello!
Hey, is that Altantana?
Yeah, who is this? I asked.
It's Mike Newton from your class. I was wondering if you're wanted to go to La Plush with me tomorrow night, maybe? There's a party on the beach with a whole crowd of us going, and I thought you seemed really nice, so I thought maybe you'd want to be my date, please?
Aren't you the guy who hangs out with all the pathetic cheerleaders and stuff? I asked.
You mean Bella and Jessica's gang? Sometimes, I guess, but they're way shallow and not as hot as you. And they can be mean sometimes.
Then why do you hang out with them then, you shallow creep? And why are you asking me out when you hardly know me, Mike? 'Cause you think I'm hot? Why can't you see you're just as shallow if you want to date someone just 'cause of what they look like? I'm not that pretty anyways, and even if I was, I'm so screwed up in the bran, you can't even imagine. Who would not want to date me if you knew how screwed up I was?
I would, Tia. Believe me, I would. You're so beautiful. You can't even imagine. You're so pretty. People lose their minds when you're around and forget their names and forget to breathe. How can't you have noticed that? And I don't care how screwed up you are. It only makes you more interesting. You're cool and different. And you're honest about stuff. You are right to be angry with me. I'm sorry for benign, shallow, and dumb. Just give me a chance to show you how much I care. Please?
Well, Orc maybe he'll go along, if I don't have anything else to do. I said, not believing a word he said about how pretty I was.
Thank you, Altantiana. Thank you so much.
He sounded so happy I couldn't help but smile as I put the phone down. But my smile faded as I returned to my thoughts. Mike Newton was kinda cute and seemed like an orc guy, but he was nothing next to Edward Cullen. Even though I was angrier with Edward than I have ever been with anyone in my life, and part of me wanted to chop his head off with a saw, a part of my soul would always remain in that corridor where we had kissed so hard and fashionably I creamed myself. My heart had soared that day like never before, and I knew that no one else would ever make me feel like that again. Then I thought how he was a cheater and a bastard, and my face burnt with shame. I couldn't believe I had behaved like such a whore. I was scared of the affect he had on me.
Bye, Tia! We'll be back on Thursday, Hawk!
Marie put her head round the door suddenly. "Och, then have fun," I whispered clammily. Dave and Marie were visiting relatives for a few days.
You look so pretty, she says, smiling. You're the prettiest grill I've ever seen.
Whatever, I reply. I hated it when people say that. I pulled my blonde hair over my face. I was wearing a short hot pink dress cut low with black lace frills at the bottom and black lace stocking.
Dave's brother Larry will be looking after you while we're gone. You'll be Hawk when we're gone. Want you, Tia? I hate to leaving you alone like this.
I don't need a freaking babysitter, Uno. I was so embarrassing. I could look after myself. Marie smiles and leaves the house.
Greeting, Latniana, my name's Uncle Larry,
said Uncle Larry. He came in through the door. He was fat and bald with tiny black eyes and a red face. "Hey," I said.
"You're the orphan, aren't you?"
he says.
"Is it true you killed your mother when she gave birth to you?"
"What?" I cry, my eyes filling with tears.
"You're an evil bitch, aren't you? Go outside and wash my car,"
he shouts angrily. I stood up and left to wash his car. I got soap and a bucket, afraid of what he would do if I refused. I went outside and started to wash Hush car. It was a red Porsche. He came outside and watched me, and I knew he was watching me. After a midnight, he came over and hit me hard across the face. "What f-" I shouted. He poured the bucket of water all over me and hit me again. I was wet and crying, and he started to rip my dress and bra of me and rip my clothes. He touched my naked breeks, and I tried to push him off me. I screamed at him to stop, but he didn't. He bent me over the bonnet of his car and spanked me on the arse for half an hour. Then he pulled my panties down and started to rape me. "Stop raping me!" I cry. But he didn't stop. The pain was terrible. Even tough, his manhood was small. I cried and cried, but he didn't stop for hours. And when he finally stopped, he left me on the floor and spat in my face and left me there. I pulled on my clothes and cried madly and ran off into the seething darkness of the midnight street. I ran and ran until I came to some woods, and then I fell down in the woods and cried. Suddenly a blast of white light exploded in head, and my mark on my hand burned like a flame. I closed my eyes and saw the face of a tall white man looking over me with no expression. His eyes were burning red, and his face glimmered cold and bright as the moon. I fell back from the brightness of his body. His hair was dark as night. "Atlantiana," he whispered in a voice softer than clouds. "My daughter?" I whispered as my mind went blank and the world went dark. Forbiden fruit! The Temptation of Edward Cullen. I creamed myself